This right here, Reese's, if you know me, if you've been following me for any of my career, this is my after party after the fight. Reese's Pieces happens to be the only snack that actually makes it to the fights. But if Skittles were to offer me a sponsorship, I probably wouldn't do it because I'm about the Reese's life, you know? I couldn't go that route. I was a little bit frustrated that I wanted to, you know, I'm used to and I expect a lot from myself. I think I'm my own worst critic. I wanted to get a good finish with the fight. He was trying to control the distance and move away from me a little bit more than I wanted to. So even though I knew I was winning the fight, I knew I was dominating the fight, but I wanted to get a finish. I wanted to get another highlight reel like I normally do. Because of a rush camp and stuff like that, I didn't feel like I normally feel. You know, I think I had, what, 3 weeks maybe to get ready for this camp. Thus, I fought, what, like 15, 20 pounds heavier than I normally am. So, you know, carrying the extra weight, carrying the extra movement was a little bit harder on the body. So, you know, I didn't feel as fresh and as springy as I normally do. So my next fight, I look to get back to my normal weight class and do my thing. Like one time I hit him going up the wall with a side kick, spin kick, but he kind of went up and barely away from it. But there were a couple instances where the finish was right there and I just didn't have the whip, or the timing was just a little bit off. And I don't blame it just on ring rust or anything like that. He did try and control spacing. When I watched all of his previous fights, he was a little bit more aggressive, should I say. But against me, he wasn't. And mind you, he was the one that was the heavier weight class. I was coming up that weight class, but I did feel a lot stronger, like I could hit a little bit. I was like, okay, well, this extra weight right here is kind of coming in handy. I was like, I feel like I got some pop on these punches, but yeah, I felt like I could search for it because I can control the fight and I have such creativity with some of my moves that I'm capable of doing things like that. When I did this side spin, he's lucky he could have kept going back up, because if he wouldn't have been able to go back up, that lands flush on his chin, but I barely nicked him. I was trying to be creative, do some creative stuff, running up and around the wall and stuff like that to show some different, you know, some different ways to be able to use the pit. I wanted to do some stuff off the wall, but he was evading me literally so much that I wasn't able to get it done. He could also go up. So even when I would press him, like, you don't train that. As I would press for my punch, he would get taller and elevate over it. So like as I would reach, then he would have the high ground, so to speak, on me. So it was a very new, it's something new that I'm gonna have to work on. So when I attack here and they're going up to take my next attack, to elevate it, to catch them while they're at the top. So that was a little bit different, because a couple times I was attacking, his body was rising. And my next attack, I had to try and either shoot up or even move out of the way, because now, so to speak, he hit the high ground on me. I like the creativity that you can do with the angles of the pit. It reminds me of like blood sport, you know what I mean? So it's like, got that old Kumite feel to it. Yeah, I really like it. And for me, I mean, that's part of the challenge for me as a martial artist. I'm probably the only martial artist who's actually taken on pretty much every aspect of the martial arts and being able to come out and be successful. I believe my fighting style can evolve to whatever the rule set is. My style will be able to be successful. I'm down to fight anybody. When it comes to karate and stand-up fighting, I feel very comfortable and very confident. I mean, again, this is me fighting somebody who's supposed to be in a bigger weight class than I am. So I'm that much stronger at my normal weight class, and I'm that much faster and that much more explosive. And then the more experience that I get in the karate combat pit with the angles, the more creative I'll be able to be. And then it's honestly getting used to some of the rule set too, because I'm still a little bit new to it, so it's just still some figuring out of how to use the rules, so to speak, to your advantage.